Good morning, readers. Go ahead and get out your learning intention sheet. Today we will be talking about synthesizing. So today as a reader, I am working on synthesizing information. Be sure to fill in the date and the book that you think you'll be reading. Readers, before we get started with our lesson, take a look at your unit goal. This is the goal that you created on Tuesday. How does today's lesson fit with it? And how will you work on your goal today? Go ahead and share this with your reading partner now. Readers, synthesizing is taking what you know, which is also called your schema, and putting it together with knowledge or with new knowledge in order to reevaluate your thinking. So that means you're thinking about what you already know, you're reading and learning new things, and then you're coming up with a new idea. Readers, today we are going to be synthesizing information as we read. Readers, we're going to practice together with this book, The Moon by Seymour Simon. We're going to read this page about Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. Before we get started, we need to think about what we already know about the first man on the moon. Go ahead and share that with your partner now. Readers, now that we've thought about what we already know about the first landing on the moon, we're going to read this paragraph. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first person to set foot on the moon. Armstrong was one of the astronauts on the Apollo 11 flight to the moon. He was followed shortly by Edwin Aldrin, another member of the United States Apollo 11 spaceflight. This is a photograph of astronaut Aldrin standing on the moon. The face mask of his spacesuit reflects astronaut Armstrong. Readers, if you look really closely, you can see the reflection right here. Readers, as I think about what I already knew about the landing on the moon, I knew that Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, and I knew that he landed in 1969. What I didn't know, and what is new knowledge for me, is that Edwin Aldrin followed him. And I didn't know that there was more than one person on the moon at a time, which is what this tells us right here. This is a photograph of astronaut Aldrin standing on the moon. The face mask of his spacesuit reflects astronaut Armstrong. So that tells us that there are two people on the moon. Readers, I'm learning that the landing on the moon was a group of people, or there were a group of astronauts that were a part of the Apollo 11 flight. So this wasn't just one person's effort, even though we know that Neil Armstrong is the most famous of these. This was many people that put effort into getting to the moon. So that is one thing that I'm learning that I could then teach other people. That's the new idea that I have, or what I've synthesized from reading this book. Now it's your turn. You're going to take a look from the book, or a look at the book by Gail Gibbons, The Moon Book. And we are going to read a page together, and then you are going to think about what you've learned and what new idea you have. There were 5 more Apollo landings on the moon. The last one, Apollo 17, was in 1972. The astronauts did experiments and gathered samples. Astronomers and other scientists were able to learn more about history and nature of our moon. Think for a minute and give me a thumb up when you have a new idea about the moon. Go ahead and share that idea with your partner now. Readers, today you are going to read nonfiction books. You are going to take notes in your binder or on sticky notes that then you put in your binder about the books that you're reading. As you read, think about your goal for the unit. Let's make it a great reading day.